Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Katie and today we are going to be creating this Slimline card using the Pumpkin Spice collection from Close to My Heart. So along with that collection, we are going to be using the stamp set Grateful for This Life. This is the September stamp of the month and it had some really nice big bold words that could be used for titles on scrapbook pages, or they fit perfectly on these Slimline card bases. So for this card, I just decorated the front. I haven't decorated the inside, but you could definitely do that as well. I have this nice, beautiful, bold flower on it, and then the sentiment stamped right to the background. So what you'll need is the Slimline card base. And then I went ahead and used a new product, which is called the Slim Card Shaker Window. So it is Z4103. This is new in the annual catalog. I'll put it this way so you can see it in all its glory. You actually get two pieces right here. So when it cuts out, it'll cut out the frame. And then this inner piece you can cut out as well. You can cut them separate or you can cut them together. So this could be used for a shaker window, but obviously we're not using it today for a shaker card. I went ahead and cut out the same sheet of paper as the original, but what I also like to do is kind of do the opposite. So I like to make cards in multiples, but I don't like to make them the exact same. So typically I will make the exact same base. So the structure is all the same, but I like to flip the papers around to give them a little different look. I'm also going to use the thankful sentiment instead of grateful. And then I'm also going to use the nectarine ink instead of that beautiful, gorgeous harbor. So first we are going to get the stamp done with that thankful. And I did kind of condition the stamp before. These are acrylic stamps, so you kind of want to, loosen them up or work them up first so you can get a really good stamped image. I typically ink it up and then ink it on some scrap paper. I've seen people put the stamp the stamp just right on their arm. I've done that before too, but I find it best to actually ink it up to kind of rough it up and then stamp it multiple times and you get a much better image. I'm going to make sure that I put it all the way over to the right. Hold it down for a few seconds and we will have a gorgeous thank you. I really like this stamp set. So that is the original stamping, and the reason I put it so far over to the right is because the flower will be right here and I wanted to make sure there was room for the flower. And no worries about if I put it too far over and that my frame will cover it, because they kind of fit together almost like a puzzle. So I think that's really neat. I wanted to add some shimmer to this. So I am actually using a newer product. So this is new for this year. We've had this gloss spray before, but the gilt is the new color. And I'm just going to kind of spray a bit of it. Just right here, I use just an old box. And I want more or less little splatters instead of a spray. So I'm actually going to take the top off and just kind of tap it. Now for this product, you do need to shake it first. So I did that ahead of time. And then I'm just kind of tapping right on the lid to get those nice little gold splatters. This color is just gorgeous. It looks almost orange on camera, but it's a really nice, beautiful gold. I figured it would be perfect for fall and take me through the winter season. So I'm just kind of going to put that off to the side and let that dry and explain what flowers I used. So I am going to use the same flower, so it's the same color. I cut this out of papaya, and then I took a little dauber, which I like to label mine with those little tiny labels you can buy, those little address labels, and just inked it up and kind of inked the edges of it just to kind of give it a little bit more dimension. Then I cut two of the leaves out and I cut them out in the harbor color. So the flower is exactly the same as the original. And these are the thin cuts I used. I used the 3D flower, which this is still available on the online only section. And then I did end up using these leaves, which are currently retired. but no worries, because there is a new flower and leaf set available in the new annual catalog. So if you did not get a chance to purchase those leaves before, or the flower set, if that flower set wasn't what tickled your fancy, we do have a brand new one in this new catalog. So this dries pretty darn quick, so you can see I can touch it and nothing comes off, and it just gives that really nice speckle effect. There's some glitter to it, but it's more bold than the shimmer pens, but it's less paint splatter looking. So I really like that addition to our arsenal here. So I'm going to go ahead and get this frame glued down. And the thing I noticed with this frame, at least if it's not a shaker window, liquid glue seems to work the best because you get a little bit of wiggle room. So I'm kind of going to just build this like a puzzle. I'm going to put this down, and since I didn't line it up perfectly and I used the liquid, you can see that I can just kind of wiggle it and move it down and get it right into place. Now this piece right here, I can just easily go ahead and use the ATG because this will fit right in like a puzzle piece. Which I think is really cool. So again, this is it's called the Slimline shaker window, but you don't necessarily need to make it a shaker. So I just think that's really fun that we can use it in more than one way. Also with this flower, I did the same technique that I did on a different video where I actually put liquid glass in the middle of the flower. So this is the liquid glass. You put a little bit of it right in the middle, and then you pour these sea glass beads right inside, and it gives this really fun effect to your flower. So the flower is going to go right over here, and I'm going to use the liquid glue again just because I like the idea that it kind of gives me a little bit of wiggle room. And then the leaves, I'm just kind of adding a little bit underneath and going to kind of tuck them right behind. I'm going to try not to cover up the word thank you. It is a little different than the grateful. So I don't want my sentiment covered. And then just kind of put them down there. The other good thing with using liquid glue is you kind of have more wiggle room. You can still lift up some things and move some things around. So there is that. Then I'm going to go ahead and pull out some of these gold glitter gems. I put a couple down here, but actually I think I'm going to add the same sentiment as I had before where it says for you. So my original card was grateful for you, and now this one will be thankful for you. I'm going to do the same thing, use the same color, kind of keep it in very similar fashion. I'm going to use the nectarine, just kind of ink that up. And again, this one's already been seasoned because I used it already. And just going to kind of make sure I have it down in that corner. And there we go. So thankful for you. I mean, what an awesome sentiment that you could send to someone. Even though it is still September, I do have the other holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Halloween. I got all of that on my mind. So I'm kind of thinking ahead of time, but still just staying in the nice fall theme. Then I went ahead and added just a little bit of shimmer pen, and this is in the clear, to the edges because I really like a little bit of extra sparkle. So I'm just adding it right to the edges. And with the clear, you don't have to exactly be perfect because it'll pick up any color that it is on. And then I just kind of went around and added it to the frame. Same thing, all you really have to do is add a little bit. Doesn't need to be perfect. We're just making sure that we have a little bit of shimmer everywhere. And then I did a few just right up the middle of the petals. Again, just to add a little bit of bling. And then the final touch is going to be adding those 3 glitter gems. I'm going to do the same pattern I did on the original. Just kind of put them, one larger one in the middle and then 2 off to the side of that. Making sure I have them spaced pretty even. And once I have those down, that completes the card. So here are the 2 cards using the exact same material. So it's the same, actually, one sheet of paper. So this is one side and this is the other. And then I just flipped it around and cut it the opposite way. So I'm really only using one sheet of paper, but it definitely has a different look. And since I used 2 different sentiments, there's definitely those 2 different looks there. Just use different color ink. So really it's using the minimal amount of product to get 2 really nice cards that you can create and give to anyone. So thank you so much as always for joining me. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. Happy crafting, and I will see you all next time.